You done messed up, Aaron!
Oh, it is nasty up in New York. It is. What's up? It's DeHuff. It's another episode of DeHuff Uncensored. If you didn't see the big headlines yesterday in the sports world, it's Aaron Rodgers got his head coach fired. That's the way I'm looking at it. Robert Saleh ended up being released by the organization. We're going to get into a little bit more of the details on that coming up a little bit later. But man, there was a point in time where I wanted the Broncos to get Aaron Rodgers when the Broncos hired Nathaniel Hackett. Aaron Rodgers, boo, as the Broncos head coach, and it didn't work out. I think the Broncos dodged a major bullet. I know so many people hate Russell Wilson and what he brought to the table for the Broncos, but I think the Broncos were better off without Aaron Rodgers, because I think, based on what I've witnessed, Aaron Rodgers is a cancer. We'll get into that. It's plus Robert Saleh has a beautiful head. He has that beautiful bald head. He doesn't deserve to be fired. It's shiny all the time. That takes work and dedication. Then you fired him? Come on. So fucked up. No, Aaron Rodgers, man. Aaron freaking Rodgers. Oh, he's got a target on his back now. He does. All eyes are going to be on the New York Jets now. And we'll see. We'll get into that more. Hope you guys are having a great day. A lot to get into. Make sure you hit that subscribe button wherever you're listening or watching. I know some of you like to watch, you little perverts. All lubed up and glass of Diet Coke and a mind full of bad ideas. Are you're checking me out on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, or even TikTok? Getting a good response on TikTok right now. It's building on TikTok as far as the full episodes. So I'm not doing the live stream of those because I pre-record, but they're allowing now for people to upload full big episodes, and I'm like, not everybody's doing it, but I'm going to do it. And I think it's a little bit another way for you guys to interact with the show. Got a lot of great interaction in regards to me not wanting to sit in a warm seat. That was funny. People are like, it's warm because people are farting on it. And I'm like, oh my God, that's disgusting. That's disgusting, but possible. Possible. Just plenty of ways to listen. Do appreciate you guys. So again, hits that subscribe button wherever you're consuming this program. And remember, today's show is brought to you by Bet Online. In fact, Bet Online is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for everything football. Bet Online has every stat, every matchup, even live odds and spreads to bet on during the games. And if you think you know your stuff, get in on Bet Online's $200,000 mega contest and pick 5 games against the spread every single week for your chance at weekly prizes and a share of $200,000. Now, when the games are over, head on over to their online casino and get in on the game of blackjack, poker, or even unwind with one of their over 150 slot games. Go to betonline.ag right now to get in on the action. It's Bet Online. The game starts here. Oh, I have to tell you guys this. Uh-oh. Did my computer freeze up? Son of a bitch. I have no idea if this is recording. Son of a biscuit-loving son of a Zeus's beard. I don't even know what that means, but it sounds exciting. So anyway, I got to bring this up to you because a couple things happened yesterday, and I'm like, oh, I got to share this with everybody. I have to. Yesterday, I let my dog out. I have a black lab mixed with border collie, something like that. Beautiful dog. And his name's Jet, Jet, right? And we have neighbors with like 3, I think it's Pomeranian, something like that. I don't remember. They're cute little fluffy dogs, but they're noisy as shit. They're always barking. I go out there to mow the lawn. Yep. I let the dog out. Yep, 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 yep. Right? That's all they do. That's what they're bred to do, I guess, is just yap at people. Little ankle biters. Adorable. Adorable. That's the only thing saving them, okay? Because they are super cute and super fluffy. But anyway, so I let my dog out yesterday. It was a beautiful day. He's just like enjoying the nice weather. Then the yapper dogs come outside and they start yapping at him. And my dog just kind of prances over to him like happy as can be. Happy as can be. And they just all, you can tell that they all just bundled up next to each other and they all just start really yapping at my dog. And my dog's tail's kind of wagging. He's not barking back, but he's just like sniffing the fence where they're at. And I swear to you, this is what my dog does. He turns to his side and lifts his back leg and pees right on their faces because you could tell that's where they were at. So he just peed on them. Like what? He gave him a golden shower. That's my doggy. He likes to give golden showers. He does. That little rascal. Oh my goodness. I was like, do I text the neighbor and say, hey, you might want to hose off your dogs? I should have, but I didn't. Oh God, I'm an asshole. I was like, what are you doing, buddy? And what was adorable by my dog is like I was like, Jet, no, like that, kind of laughing too. And he turns and he just kind of prances back to me, his tail wagging, like, hey, Dad, did you see I gave them a golden shower? Hey, freebie. It's a freebie. Some people have to pay extra for the golden showers. I'm just giving them away. I would love for somebody to just be tuning in to the show right at that moment. And they're like, let's see what he's talking about. He's just giving away golden showers. Oh my goodness. No, God, please, Jesus. No. Okay, so then to top everything off for the day, another moment happened yesterday where I'm like, I got to tell everybody about this. So back in the day, about 20 years ago, is what my wife and I figured out. About 20 years ago, I worked at Chipotle. In fact, the Chipotle I used to work at that I ended at was 120th and Washington in Thornton. Good location, still there. In fact, we went there last night, and I'm going to be calling them out just a little bit. Listen, I'll still go back there. I don't hate anybody there, but I do. It needs to be presented. The lobby looked, for the most part, at a distance, looked pretty good. Okay, we'll get into that. Order the food. They're a little slow, but part of that is there was a lady with a handwritten note from a bunch of people that are like, I want a steak burrito with no beans and blah 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 blah. You know how it goes. So rude. This day and age, nobody should be going into a Chipotle with 3 or more burritos or tacos on a handwritten note. If you're going to do that, if you're going to show up, just have somebody or pre-order it on the app or on their website. So that way, by the time you get there, it's already ordered. It's not new science. This shit's been around. It's not even science. It's not new technology. This shit's been around for a while where you can order ahead. It's pretty fucking simple. So that lady drags everybody up and just makes the line just go to a standstill. And then I'm like thinking, okay, that's the excuse of why the line's not going very fast. Then once that lady's done, everybody on the line isn't going that fast. They're not that friendly. And that kind of bugs the shit out of me. It does. We're not even in their dinner rush. It was like around 4:45, roughly. Okay. Not necessarily the beginning of their dinner rush. But I set it aside. Okay? Set it aside. They make our burritos. My son got a steak burrito. He did a good job. I prepared him. I was like, what are you going to order? Because once you go up there, you got to help the flow of the line. So you go up there and you have your order ready to go, okay? And he's like, "Okay, I was like, they're gonna ask you, what can I get you? You're gonna say steak burrito, and they're gonna say brown or white rice." And he does it and he goes through everything, right? He does a good job. They roll his burrito, they didn't do it very well, and that kind of bugged me. That they over portioned the rice and they just didn't do a good job and they didn't roll it tight. And that bugs me. They did fine with mine, but not with his. So anyway, we pay. We go to find a place to sit down, and all the tables are just a mess. There was like two people actually in the lobby, and all the other tables were just a mess. I'm like, oh, gross. And again, they weren't really busy. This place should be pretty fucking clean at this time of the day. So I go to where the back of the house is, and I kind of peek my head back there, and I was like, "Hey, can I get a towel so I can wipe down the tables?" And the cook was just like, "Yeah, let me see if I can get somebody." And then the manager makes eye contact with me, and I said, I just need a towel so I can wipe down tables." Doesn't actually address me, and then she just kind of looks at me like, interaction with customers. Oh, I'm gonna hear back on that one. She wasn't that bad, okay? But what I'm saying is there was just like no urgency to get things clean. 3 minutes later, roughly, guessing, uh, finally somebody comes out, but then he doesn't start cleaning tables. He starts wiping down the bar, which wasn't even that bad. There's like all these tables and there's people waiting by the tables to get them clean. So I go over to the bucket where all the, you know, which by the way, they might want to test the what is it? The pH levels in those. I don't think it was at the proper temperature. That's just me being a dick, okay? So I go over there, I grab the towel, wring it out, and then I start wiping down tables for people because this guy was slow as molasses. I'm sorry, it's me being a dick, but that's just the way it is. Will I go back to that restaurant again? Yes, absolutely. Overall, it tasted good. The food wasn't dried out. It wasn't, sometimes you get the rice and it's like crunchy still. Sometimes you get the steak or whatever and it's just ugh. No, it was good. It tasted great. It was just I have complaints. And I'm sitting there going, I just got done working. And by the way, I flew through those fucking tables. Those tables never look so damn good. Here's what's funny too. When I worked in restaurants, I wasn't necessarily fast. There was plenty of people that were more efficient than me. They were faster and they were just better at it. But I'm sitting there going, I'm pretty sure I could run circles around the majority of the staff here. I'm pretty fucking sure. My son's like, you should get a job here. I was like, no, I did my time. I did. Then my son goes, well, maybe you should call somebody in the corporation and see if you could come here and do some videos where you see if you can still do it. I'm like, that's a great idea. So if anybody out there works for Chipotle, set me up. I want to see if my abilities are still there. I want to put my money where my mouth is. Because if I fail, I fail. That's fine, whatever. But if I dominate, ooh, yeah. You could credit it to great training. How about that? 20 years later, still got it. Because I could do that at Chipotle. I'm confident I can do that at Chipotle, where I could still roll it. I could still do the line. I wasn't the best when dickheads would get like double meat and double this, that. That shit pisses me off. But like a standard burrito, as made per the menu, I'm confident I can do that. Same thing with Jamba Juice. I'm pretty sure I can go out there and still dominate. Not that you guys care. You know what? I just saying I had to share that with you because I'm like wiping down tables and I'm like, what the fuck? Why am I doing this? Because they didn't do it. Drives me nuts. If you've ever worked in a restaurant and you go back in there and you're like, oh my God, what the fuck is going on? They need to be doing this. It's like, I wasn't that great, but Jesus. Jesus. It's like, what, 2 years ago when I had to go and show the employees at Qdoba how to roll a burrito because they were making these balls of burritos instead of like a rectangle burrito. They were making balls. I was like, that's not a burrito. Have you not ate a burrito before? It's not a fucking ball. Don't need to go down that rabbit hole again. But you know what we need to do right now? Sorry, I just went way off the rails. I did. My apologies. You know what? Let's get it back on track and let's jump into some headlines.
Let's go! Let's go!
And now, here are the headlines.
We knew this was going to happen. We knew it. I feel like some of us had mentioned this before. And now it's coming about. Another pill that people will be reliant on. It's a new exercise pill that mimics the effects of running a 10K without any effort. I got to be honest, that's pretty fucking awesome. It's currently called Lake, capital L, lowercase a, capital K, lowercase e. The drug has been shown in lab rats to flush toxins and strengthen the heart. I mean, honestly, that's pretty cool. It's better than the Ozempic, which is just going to, make you not eat and whatever. At least this is like strengthening your heart. It's flushing out toxins. It seems like it's a good idea because you're going to be walking along the street and somebody's going to go,
Oh, geez, look at the butt on that.
Yeah. He must work out.
nope, he's on pills. Listen, I get it, especially in America. The United States takes the least amount of vacation days out of any country in the world. So we're overworking ourselves, which is not necessarily a good thing. We're doing that, and then what goes to the side? What do we neglect to do? Well, we neglect to take care of ourselves. We neglect to take care of our family. So I gotta ask, would you take this? I know there's a lot of people that could benefit from it, myself included. If you're getting the same effects as a cardiovascular workout, a cardio workout, would you take it? The problem I have, all joking aside, is it's just another pill for us to be reliant on. That's what's scary. But let's say this is a reasonably priced drug. Would you take it? Maybe for a while until I can get my health under control. Let's say, I'm fit, whatever. I got washboard abs, right? then I could go, okay, I think I can start actually working out now. It would be interesting to see. You might be able to, I would be curious to see this. Yes, it strengthens your heart. It flushes toxins. But what does it do for your lung capacity? Because you could be doing this, right? But then let's say you actually try to run. Are your lungs going to be able to catch up or hold up? That would be interesting. Little things like that. You're like, man, he is super fit. Then you go to, walk to the mailbox and you're like, ah, sweet Jesus. You're like, oh my God, he's the most out of shape fit guy I've ever seen. Now, in addition to triggering the release of appetite suppression hormones, this spike also flushes fatty acids from the bloodstream, reducing the risk of conditions like heart disease, stroke, and type 2 diabetes. So it's good. It's good. But it worries me that it's just another thing for us to be reliant on without putting in the effort. It goes down the path of we're getting lazier. while there are smart people coming up with the idea, us as a whole are getting lazier. Well, they're just going to make a pill for me to stay healthy and fit. Okay. It's just easier to do that. That way, now I can work more, type of thing. Or the benefit would be you would have more time with your family. That's what you would hope that people would do with that extra time. I'm torn on this idea. I think it's fantastic. Again, I can appreciate the science. It's just, it is a bad, I think overall it's a bad idea because it's not teaching us anything. It's teaching us, I guess the one thing it's teaching us is got to wait for the hero to show up, something else to come in and save the day. That's what's happening. That's the pill. I'm waiting to be rescued. I'm not going to put in the effort. I'm not going to, get fit. I'm not going to trim down on my own. I'm just waiting for something to come along that's going to do it for me. That's your success pill. Think about that in business. Are you going to sit there and wait around for somebody to come swoop in and do the work for you and make your company successful? No, you're not going to do that. You're going to bust your butt and go out there and make things successful. You can't have that mentality in life. It's one thing for business, but it should go hand in hand with your own life, your own health. And I think this is just teaching us a negative way about taking care of ourselves. While it may benefit some people, I think if it's something that you're completely reliant on, that's bad. And it would be hard not to be addicted to something like this, right? If you're getting fantastic results and your body's just banging, people are like, "Damn, you look good. What's your secret?" I'm taking a pill and it makes me fit. Instead of putting in, because you, especially people that work out on a regular basis, you tend to be more driven. You're a little bit more focused on goals and goal oriented. The people that I know that are dedicated to working out are different in that sense that they push themselves a little bit harder. It doesn't mean they're better than anybody, but you can see that's where it's just like, shit, I need to start working out. I do, because it's good for your mental status. It's good. It helps with anxiety. It helps with um, ADHD, allowing you to stay more focused and stuff like that. So there's benefits to working out. I'd be curious of what the effect of this drug has on those type of things as well. So it's interesting. It's something to think about. If you ever get the opportunity in the future of, hey, maybe you should consider taking this, would you take it? Very interesting. Very interesting. Snake yoga. I do not like snakes. I don't. I Snakes are my least favorite thing that exists as far as animals go. My son has the opportunity to bring home some reptiles over their upcoming fall break, and we ended up signing up to bring home an iguana, which I'll get on Friday or something like that. He wanted me to get a snake. They have like a 9-foot snake. I was like, no, we're not bringing that home. Well, what about this one? It's like 3 feet. I was like, no, I refuse. I hate snakes. They're disgusting. So gross. So the reason I bring this up is they have snake yoga. That's a thing. And I have a soundbite to go with this, and I think I lost it. I think I did. Yeah, here it is, my friend. Here it is. Um, Snake yoga is a thing. And it says it's going to make you squirm and maybe conquer your overwhelming fear. No, you know what that's going to do? It's going to fucking make me have a goddamn panic attack. I'm not going to do yoga I know yoga is supposed to be really freaking good for you. We were just talking about, taking that pill to make you healthier and all. But I don't want to be doing that, and then there's fucking snakes slithering around. I get it that there's a good chunk of snakes out there that aren't going to harm you. But if it's a boa, if it's any kind of restrictor, don't want to be around it. It's obviously anything venomous, don't want to be around it. Even like when we were talking to Chad Brown and he was talking about garter snakes, like if you touch them, because most of their diet is they kind of like to hang around water and they eat, stuff around there. They tend to smell if you touch them, and they release like a whatever substance, and your hands are going to smell like nasty, boggy water. Ugh, I just don't like snakes.
Why did it have to be snakes?
Yeah, I know, Indiana. It's so disgusting. Not a fan of snakes, and definitely not wanting to roll around on the ground and doing yoga poses. Then all of a sudden I look down and there's a snake staring right back at me because it's slithering between my junk. No, thank you. This is the headline that I found. It says, I spent a year and $50,000 building a replica World War I tank, and it works. I'm just like thinking, this comes on the heels of the man saying this.
Anyway, I started blasting. Bang!
Wow.
Bang! Well, I don't see so good, so I missed. Then they ran away. I ran after them.
Okay.
Bang! Try to shoot them in the back. But I don't run so good either. Anyway.
Danny DeVito is a national treasure. I think it's weird. Hopefully you're not hurting anybody with this. They're saying that they spent $50,000. That's not that bad, I guess, if you built a World War I tank. It's one of the small ones. I think it would be neat to drive if you're somebody that has a lot of land. But if your neighbor was building a tank, you'd be judging the fuck out of him. There's weirdo Todd who's building that tank in his backyard. What the fuck's he gonna do with the tank? I don't know. But I told the police he's on a list now. Right? If you build a tank in your backyard, people are watching you. They are. That being said, it'd be kind of fucking cool to drive one. I've never driven a tank. Never. I don't know what the coolest thing I've ever driven is. It's nothing like that. My Chevy S10 84. Ooh, that was a great pickup. It was good. Clean. I haven't driven anything really cool. A U-Haul. I've never driven anything cool. If I had the opportunity to sit behind the controls of a tank, I would do it in a heartbeat. It would be fun. I guess the coolest thing I've ever driven was that helicopter in Westminster at Rocky Mountain Airport. I think that was neat. That was a great experience. Even though I'm afraid of heights, that was neat. But if somebody came up to me and they're like, "Hey, I got a tank. Do you want to drive it?" First of all, I'd be like, "What kind of creepy motherfucker owns a tank?" And then, yes, I would. Where do you park that? Where do you fucking park that shit? Oh, I got a tank. You know what? That'd be fun to parallel park that shit. Boy, I see people that don't know how to parallel park on a regular basis. That's when I go to pick up my kids from school. Oh my god, it's hilarious. But one of these days somebody's gonna smash into another vehicle, and it freaks me out. This is a headline that I saw. It says, I was shamed for taking my baby to a kid-free wedding and was even told my daughter doesn't fit the family. When asked about this later on, the mom said,
Suck my cock! I'll murder your family!
Whoa, she's aggressive. She is an aggressive one. If you bring your kid to a wedding that says kid-free wedding, guess what? You're a dick. If you can't find babysitting to an event that says don't bring your kids, then don't show up to the event. You can't do that. That's an asshole thing to do. And then I don't understand why she would say, and I was even told my daughter doesn't fit the family. Well, fuck, these people sound horrible. I feel like this is if they say that the last part, if that part comes up, regardless of the beginning part of where the kids weren't even supposed to be there. If somebody says, "Hey, your kid doesn't even fit in this family," whatever, be like, "Fuck you." Guess what? I hate your guts.
Suck my cock! I'll murder your family!
Right? Those are going to be words that are be coming out of my mouth, right? Whether don't say murder your family, but you see what I'm saying? It's like if somebody says that to you, then fuck them. Don't be a part of them. They're just making a decision for you. They're a terrible person that you don't need to associate anymore. Great. Nice. Let's move on from it type of thing. I don't like you. You don't like me. Guess you're not coming over for Christmas, right? Not inviting you over to any sort of birthday parties. Great. Great. What an asshole thing for somebody to say your daughter doesn't fit the family. But it's also an asshole thing of you to bring your kid to a wedding. Unless they're like 17 years old, then I think you could get away with it. Or it's one of those things where you would ask the bride and groom, be like, "Hey, I know that you said no kids, but what do you think of my daughter? She's this age." And if they say yes, they say yes. But if they say no, they say no. I get it. I've been invited to weddings and parties or whatever that are adults only, like a Diddy party. What? Break out the baby oil. Fucking Diddy. Oh, Jesus Christ. Sounds like he did some serious damage to Justin Bieber, and Bieber is just rolling around. Do I come out and say what actually happened? Which it's all joking aside, it seems like it's some terrible shit. Terrible shit. But I don't know. Just speculating. But anyway, yeah, I don't blame them for getting mad that the kid was brought there because you weren't supposed to do it. But come on. Don't be a dick and be like, your daughter doesn't even belong here. God damn, not even part of this family. Well, eat a dick, sir. Eat a dick. A Dutch museum found here's what's crazy. Okay, so like this janitor, this is another reason why I don't understand art and never will. This Dutch museum had a display, but a janitor walked by it and was just like, "Oh, there's some trash. I better pick that up." Right? Turns out that the beer can display that was being knocked off as displayed as art was actually, worth something. And so the janitor threw it away. He gets reprimanded. When the janitor was shown his mistake, he was quoted saying,
What the fuck?
literally. So again, there was basically a display of trash. The janitor walks by, picks it up, throws it away. The artist and the museum freak out. They're like, "No, that was art. Can you not tell, you peasant?" And they get the janitor to find the trash, and then they put it back out. Janitor's sitting there going, "What the fuck is wrong with you people? I don't get art." They showed it. It's like two like beer cans that are slightly crushed. I'm sorry. If you're an artist and that's what you put out there, I feel like you're half-assing it. This is demonstrating the struggles of our society where one can be consumed by the intoxication of a liquid, and it makes you forget your worries, and then you crumple it up, but you don't finish the job. It is only merely slightly crushed, and that makes you think there's still more to come. Like, no, you fucking idiot. It's beer. It's trash. Jesus. People, artists are the biggest fucking frauds in my mind. You are. You are fucking frauds. Like, what the shit?
What the fuck?
A headline says, I'm having a Monday wedding. 20 guests are saying they forgot about my big day. It's because you had it on a Monday. Also, if they say, we forgot about your wedding, they don't like you. Okay? They don't like you enough to go, it's a Monday, but we should still go because it's Carol and so. They're getting married. They're great people. You know what that means if it's on a Monday and they're like, dude, we forgot about your wedding. They don't like you. They don't. When surveyed about the Monday wedding, the majority of the guests said,
What a bitch.
yeah, it's kind of a dick move to put it on a Monday. A lot of people will have to take off work. They're not going to show up. I got to be honest. That fucks with everybody's schedule. I get that you're probably getting a really good deal on the venue for doing it on a Monday. But that's a dick move to do on a Monday. I mean, I'd be looking at the invite just going,
What the fuck?
yeah, you just don't do that. Now, if it's a Saturday and nobody shows up, but they still say they forgot about the big day, they still don't like you. If somebody says they forgot about your wedding, again, kind of going back to a few stories ago, it just is kind of making the decision for you that they don't need to be part of your life. The people that show up, those are the good people, right? It's an event. It's a very special day for you. And the people that show up are good people. The people that are like, I forgot. Okay? Just make note of it. They're a dick. They're a dick. They're a dick. They're a dick. Okay? Don't invite them to anything ever again. Jeez, it's pretty simple. I wouldn't sit here and cry about it. If anything, it's just kind of exposing what they are. And you're like, oh, okay. Well, I know now not to trust Todd because he's a dick and didn't show up. But the Monday thing is kind of an asshole move on your part, right? I don't think I've ever heard of somebody having a wedding on a weekday where you invite actual guests. You could get go to the city hall or something like that and get married pretty quick. That makes sense. But if you have a bunch of people and you're having a reception and everything, no, that's mean. That's jacked up. No wonder they forgot. They just don't like you now. Like they were on the fence before. That's what it was. They were on the fence before of liking you. Then you have a wedding scheduled for a Monday. And you know what? They forgot on purpose. They did. Oh shit, you're getting married? That's right. It was on a Monday, wasn't it? A Monday. I forgot to request it off and use one of my vacation days to go to your fucking wedding.
What a bitch.
Yeah. Hey, real quick, Deion Sanders was talking yesterday, and I liked, as I was cutting up the audio for Mile High Sports, I liked something that he said when he was talking about the mentality and their expectations to win every single game. And I'm going to play this for you, and then we'll talk about it real quick after.
Like, how can you be surprised with the expectation you have for yourself? The only way you can be surprised is you didn't expect it. We expect the results when we put in the work. I just don't want it going to their heads, but we shouldn't be surprised of where we are. We should be appreciative in understanding what allowed us to be where we are, but it should be no surprise to you. So when it's a surprise, you get kind of discombobulated and you kind of take things wrong instead of really looking at it and dissecting why you are where you are. It shouldn't be no surprise to anybody, but I don't want them to be in lackadaisical thinking this is easy, because the wind don't care who attains it. Has no mind, no memory, no whatsoever. Does not care. So it might as well be us if it has no care and no feelings for it.
I like what he's talking about there. And the way I can kind of translate that into is, well, it does seem a little odd that people get mad when you have confidence going into a sporting event. We're going to go in there and we're going to show them what we're all about. We're going to go in there and beat their ass. You should have that mentality going into a sporting event. You should, because it's going to amp you up and you're going to have the expectations in your head of you succeeding. If you go into an event like this, a football game, and you're just sitting there going, I don't know, they're a pretty tough team. It's going to be hard to go out there. They're good. I don't know how we're going to do. There's a good chance that we're going to lose. You can't have that mentality. You can't. That's just dumb. It's moronic. It's the same thing in business. Why would you go out there in your business if you're not expecting to succeed? If you're not setting yourself up to go, I'm going to go into this and I'm going to dominate. That's the way you should be looking at it. Doesn't matter if you're going into a oversaturated, product line. You go in there and be like, guess what? We're different, and we're different in a good way. And we're going to go out there and we're going to punch everybody in the nose. That's what's going to happen. That's the way you do it. You embrace what you are, and what you are is badass. I don't understand why people get so bent on Deion Sanders projecting a positive mentality to his players. I get it. He can rub people the wrong way. And there's times I sit here and I go, man, like when he was being kind of a dick to that one reporter about the weather. Okay? He can come off like a dick sometimes. But he's not being a dick when he's telling his players, his coaches, that we're great and we should be expecting to go out there and lay the hammer down and go beat the snot out of our opponents. Okay? That's the way it goes. That's the mentality you want. I don't want people on my team, whether it's work or sports related, of people that are going, I don't know, I don't think we're going to win, guys. I don't want that. Get the hell out of here with that. I want you to think and believe that you're number one. I want you to believe, even if you take a misstep, that you are good enough and your team surrounding you is good enough to project you forward and continue to go in a positive direction. That's what you need to believe. And for people to bag on that and say that they're just cocky, it's just a bandwagon of hate against Deion Sanders. I would much prefer his mentality of you go out there and you believe that you're number one. You go out there and believe that we can win every single game. You go out there and believe that we can win every single play. That's what I want on my team. Those are the players I want out on the field. The fact that he is building confidence with his young players, these young men, that they have the mentality to go, we are good. I'm a good person. I'm a good player. And let me go prove it not only to my coaches, not only to my teammates, but let me go prove it to myself. That should be praised, not ripped apart. Listen, I get you. Deion might rub you the wrong way. He might. It's his confidence that rubs people the wrong way. That's who he is. If you're new to the conversation with Deion Sanders. He's been that way his whole life. He is a go-getter. He is somebody that believes in his talent, and he believes that he can help build people up and see their talent as well. I think it's a little silly when people bag on Deion Sanders. I think he did a good job laying that out on why he does what he does. You tell me. Do you see what I'm talking about when it comes to Deion and how he's laying it out there? I think there are times, and he even brought this up in his press conference yesterday, where he was trying to talk about all the good things that happened in the past week. Shador Sanders was named and all. I don't know what it was exactly. He's I'm not going to talk about that because then you guys are going to bag on me for talking about my son. And then he said he was going to say something similar about Travis Hunter. I'm not going to bring that up because he's like a son to me. So I don't need to bring that up. And there are times where it does seem like that he's prepping or propping up his kids more than the other players. But that's what stands out because those are big, flashy names. But if you do listen to the press conferences, he's talking about just about every single player on in that program and talking about how great they are and how far they've come and certain things that they might need to work on. He does. It just doesn't. It's not the catchy headline. So the more press conferences I listen to from Deion Sanders, the more I appreciate what he's doing at the University of Colorado. And I'm going to be disappointed if they don't make it to a bowl game this year. I am, because I like what he's bringing to the table. I do. I like it. And I like that he's shutting a lot of us up. A lot of us in the media, he is silencing by staying the course and doing what he does. So there you go. Good job, Deion. I like that, what you just said there. Let's jump into the mailbag.
Mailbag. You've got mail.
By the way, I meant to bring this up. Patrick Surtain was named AFC Defensive Player of the Week. He obviously had that 100-yard touchdown pick six. That was pretty cool. Again, I called it. The fact that I called that the Denver defense was going to score a touchdown, and they did, and the fact that I said Bo Nix would have 2 touchdown passes, and he did all in the same game. I should have put money on it. It pisses me off. But anyway, this comes in from Josh as well as Matt OFP. These two were chit-chatting on my Twitter at DeHuff Podcast, and they're talking about, obviously, Aaron Rodgers.
You done messed up, Aaron!
Because that was a huge story. And Matt OFP started with Hackett's offensive team rankings in the NFL, and he had a big list, and it's not good. We all know he wasn't calling plays in Green Bay, right? And that's when the offense was ranked high. He had a decent season in Jacksonville. That's about it. Nathaniel Hackett had a run here in Denver, and it was just a train wreck. Josh followed up with, can you just see Saleh going into the owner's office? Hey, I need to talk to you about Hackett. Then the owner replies back with, actually, Bob, I wanted to talk to you about you. Brutal is right, though. This franchise is a dumpster fire. It is. The New York Jets are falling apart. And it's not necessarily the player's fault, with the exception of Aaron Rodgers. I think he is a huge problem. You can't have a player dictating too much. But that being said, I say that, but then on the other side of my mouth, I say, well, look at Peyton Manning. When he came to Denver, he was in control of a lot. He dictated a lot. If he wanted a guy to come to the team, that he made sure it happened. So while I say that Aaron Rodgers is a problem for doing what he does, it can work if you have somebody like Peyton Manning. And let's be honest, Aaron Rodgers is no Peyton Manning. He's not. And the fact that Nathaniel Hackett still has a job is a joke because he's calling the plays in New York. I guarantee you what's going to happen now is Aaron Rodgers is going to have all the say in what goes on. He's going to sit down, cuddle up with Nathaniel Hackett. They're going to design plays, all the stuff that Saleh didn't want them to do, and they're going to make it all about Aaron Rodgers. Will they find success? I hope not. No offense to Jets fans, but I think you got a problem right there in Aaron Rodgers. I don't like his mentality. He comes off as an arrogant prick, and he comes off as a bad teammate. Unless he's best buds with you, you're trash. That's the way it comes off when Aaron Rodgers is speaking and interacting with players. I get that he wants excellence, but I remember Peyton Manning when he was here in Denver, he demanded excellence. And it was tough to be on the team, but there was payoff. Like immediately, there was payoff with Peyton Manning as the quarterback and the leader of that team. And it was very obvious. They have a lot of weapons on the New York Jets. So I'm curious of, does Aaron Rodgers see the situation in Denver when the Broncos had Peyton and Peyton came in and really took the reins and took control? Does he see himself in that similar situation going, well, I'm just going to, mirror what Peyton did? But then he's just not getting the results. Now, granted, he was injured all of last year. So this is his real first season. But they're not doing well. So usually in these situations, it's the coordinators that get fired first. The fact that they fired Robert Saleh, it kind of bugs me. It bugs me. You're only 5 games in, and then you fire your head coach. I think that's a dumb move by the New York Jets. They should have fired Hackett, but since him and Rodgers are, buddy, that's why they let him go. It is for Josh and Matt OFP to say that this franchise is brutal and it is a dumpster fire is spot on. Because it is. It is a joke. Sadly, as a Bronco fan, I've been there. But I'm glad that the Broncos are moving in the right direction. I know there's still people out there that are mad at the Denver Broncos and Sean Payton because they don't feel like Bo Nix is the right guy still. He's improving. I know you don't want to see that, but Bo Nix is improving. The offense is improving. We'll see how they do against the Chargers. Tomorrow I'll give you my my preview of the game, and we'll see how it goes. But if the Broncos can go in there and defend the home field against the Chargers, and the offense shows up, and it's a well-balanced attack, okay, I'm curious of how people are going to react to that. Because there's still people calling for Sean Payton to be fired. There's still people saying that Bo Nix is a bust. Okay? We'll see. if he keeps getting better, what are you guys? What's your excuses, guys? What are the grounds for your hatred? I'm just curious. We'll see. Let's talk about that tomorrow. Let's talk about uh, all that stuff and get it out of the way. If you want to give your thoughts on the Broncos, hit me up, dehuffpodcast@gmail.com, or you can hit me on socials at dehuffpodcast. And I just want to know, because there's a lot of people that are twisting and turning in the wind, and I don't understand why you're not happy with a win. Like, who fucking shit in your Cheerios? The Broncos have won 3 in a row, and you're mad about it. It's fucking bizarre. You're like that stupid raccoon that made its way into the stands at the Bronco Raider game. You're just angry at the world. Just, I'm a raccoon. Look at me. I don't know why he had like an Australian accent. That's weird. It's weird. But don't just enjoy success. Quit shitting on everybody's parade. But again, going back to the Jets, I feel sorry for the Jets fans. I thought things were going to start turning around, and maybe they will. Maybe they will. But I don't think that they let go of the right person. I don't. But we'll see. We'll see. Hey, thank you guys so much for joining the show. Really appreciate it. Make sure you hit that subscribe button wherever you're listening or watching. And if you could, share it with your friends. Big thanks to Bet Online. Go to betonline.ag. It's the Huff Uncensored. Let's continue to move forward. I'll talk to you next time.